Hi there, welcome to another educational video document in my Web3 expedition. In this short video, I just want to quickly look at the Capital Launchpad event for Theoriq and see, wow, pledge is opened already and see if it's worth it to participate in. This is going to run for 3 days. I also want to look at the parameters. Is it an oversubscription model? Is it capped, first come, first serve, stuff like that? The extent of participation to see if one needs to take action early on now that it just opened compared to later on. Okay, so that's the scope for this video. Interestingly, as uh, wow. Espresso has also started. Now, I don't know what this is here. It says allocation requested 4,000. Does that mean that there's no interest? This is showing 4 users at the moment with 4,000. And this is like 4 minutes. It looks like it's 4 minutes old or so. So that's understandable. But look at the interest here. This is already 3,700, 375,000. Here is only 4,000. We're talking minimum of 1,000 contributions. So these are just 4 people. That baffles me a bit. Wow. So basically, not they're not very satisfied about the vesting schedule here. Let's focus on Theoriq. So this is going out fast, by the way. So if someone wants to participate, one may want to do so early, superficially looking. However, let's look at the mechanics of this. Because if it's first come, first serve, for example, let's see. So pledging starts, is going to last for 4 days. Then after pledging will be preferred round. So this is going to last for another 4 days, but I don't know what preferred round refers to. So it says to be validated. This is to be reviewed. So it's not even guaranteed that you'll get an allocation when you pledge. And I don't know how they will review matters. I don't really know. I will see if I can find information about that. Now, review well, maybe you will not get your intended allocation, compared to your pledged amount. So this part is interesting. Now there's first come, first serve. Let's say after review all and stuff like that, there is no allocation available. I mean, there is remaining allocation unlikely. Then it will enter first come, first serve. That will happen on August 5th. And thereafter, closed and TGE, I believe. Now, let's assume I want to pledge. So we know this vesting schedule already, 25% unlock at TGE at a 75% FDV, compared to the last round valuation, which was 150 million FDV. We would assume that at the very least, they may list at 150 FDV valuation. So let's assume that you'll be getting 50% unlocked at TGE. The remainder, very long, far away. So 36, there's 37.5 after 12 months. Then the remaining 27.5 after another 12 months, but linearly. So that will be paid out daily. So your mindset here should just be 25%, unlock at TGE. Now, the other option to this is not participating and trying to get the token upon launch. Now, I don't know if that is feasible. It may be relevant for other reasons to participate in this. You never know. It may impact your performance in other solid launches that you're looking out for. They may factor in your this participation, for example, in futuristic launches. There may be some bonuses that comes out of this. So I'm thinking of it strongly. Now, balance you'll see here is $100. Deposit will be refunded within 3 days if no allocation is granted. So that's obvious. Allocation may not be granted. This is a pledge phase. Now, pledging, the range of your pledge has to be within 1,000 to 100,000. So what will happen here generally is, let's say you pledge 100,000, you would need to have the principal. Then they will decide if they want to give the entire 100,000 to you or give you a a portion of it while distributing the allocation to more hands. That's the likelihood there. Now, it's also possible that more people than the 2 million pledge. What's pledged is more than the 2 million. That's where a validation fees comes in. So your allocation based on what I'm seeing may be lower than 1,000. And now that may not be favorable because for me, if I want to go for this, I would prefer to have, let's say, uh 1,000 as my 25%, than say you end up with an allocation of 500 and then you're then 25% of that is vested, so you end up getting say $125 worth of allocation. So that's a possibility here. It's relevant to know this. It's relevant to know this because you may not get your intended allocation, you may not even get an allocation. So to fare better in the pledge phase, it may be better to pledge a larger amount so that if you are caught, you'll end up with, say, a $1,000 allocation or a $2,000 allocation. Now, I'm talking of my experience with Launchpads. I've had a lot of experience there. You know, this methodology is similar to Legion, where they do manual review, allow you to pledge even an extravagant amount. But the only difference is yes, yes. So that said, wow. Now this is to be thought about. So this is free gas fee. Submission does not mean that you have successfully allocated without an allocation, nor does it entitle you to an allocation. If you do not receive an allocation, your deposit will be refunded to you within 7 business days. It said at the top that it's around 3 days or so. In the event that you have been successfully selected to participate in the allocation, you'll be required to make a payment of the remaining amount within. So, in the event that you have successfully being selected to participate in the allocation, you'll be required to make the payment of the remaining amount within the stipulated time frame. If you fail to do so, you'll be deemed to have forfeited your entitlement to participation in the allocation, and your entitlement will be cancelled and your deposit will be forfeited without refund or further liability to you. Now, I don't understand this. So let's say you pledge 1,000. So, except this is in the event that you are given a bigger allocation than your 1,000 pledge. So you'd be required to fill up the remainder, and if not, you'll forfeit your deposit. So these are relevant to know for those participating. Good that I did this video. Now I would need to reconsider in terms of participation. I would look at the level of participation at this stage before participating. Now, what do I mean by that? Uh, it's obvious that you haven't finished your. It's obvious that you can pledge any amount. It's obvious that the pledge can be oversubscribed. So pledge amount can be over 2 million. However, it's not guaranteed. In some cases, you may get a bigger amount than your pledge, very possible. In other cases, you may get smaller amount than your pledge. Uh, so you don't need to hurry based on what I've seen so far, because in fact, there can be an oversubscription in the pledge phase. So I'm going to look at this. Now, if it's so oversubscribed in the pledge phase, then you will want to go in with a big amount, if you're to participate at all, so that if you are cut down, it will, you'll still get a tangible allocation. Of course, your refund will come days later. Now, if there is not much interest in terms of pledging, then you can go in with a basic amount, with the prospect of getting your intended allocation there, tangible. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this. This is all relevant, interesting. Okay, and these are posts that you can interact with at the moment for those who are yapping. So some people may favor yapping as their approach to getting the token. Now that is not guaranteed, so I always like these options for with involving putting up funds and stuff. So Bringing us to the end of this video. To onboard on Kaito, your link will be in the description. I did a video earlier on how to apply to test out Theoriq Alpha Swarm. You can already do that. Okay, so simply click here, and then there's a form. After 24 hours, you'll likely be selected to participate in the Alpha Swarm testing. Struggling to load. I did a video about that. Let's just wait and I'll show you. To conclude, ensure to go to airdropc.com and submit your email to subscribe to airdrop reminders. I'm working on 100 solid airdrop prospects, so submit your email here to subscribe. And you can contact me using this contact form, this Telegram, and this Twitter. Back to this page, then we'll end the video. So you join community beta, and then you fill up this form. Wallet and email address. Wallet may be whichever wallet you want to end up with access. It may also be your Kaito wallet that is KYC, because I think this is open to KYC users on Kaito. So that's it for this one. You would receive an email telling you that you have registered successfully, and it will also tell you that after 24 hours you'll be getting approval, stuff like that. Stay awesome, take action. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials.